So dear students, welcome to my YouTube channel PCM Academy and myself Prasenjit Mollik, MSc in Physics. And today I will discuss about a very interesting topics on mathematical physics, that is Rayleigh's theorem. Actually we are in a lecture series on mathematical physics for IIT JAM. Okay, and the lectures I have started is from very basic, okay, that you have already started in your mathematics in 10+2 level, and we have discussed till now the monotonicity, that is increasing and decreasing of function. And now in this class I like to start about a very interesting topic. Actually I am going to start some mean value theorems, and the first mean value theorem that I have to discuss over here at first is nothing but Rayleigh's theorem. And this is very interesting. This is actually the starting of mean value theorem. We will study a lot of things. Okay, some Lagrange's mean value theorem, Taylor's theorem, Maclaurin's theorem, some Taylor series, Maclaurin series, etc. We will discuss many more things, okay, according to the syllabus of IIT JAM mathematics. Mathematical physics, actually, not mathematics, there is a different word. This is PH, okay. The subject code is PH and that is MA. So we are not discussing about MA. That is the part of the students of BSc mathematics. But we are in a region on mathematical physics. But obviously you have to understand these things also, okay, for the purpose of your understanding of physics. So today I will discuss about Rayleigh's theorem, okay. So it's a very interesting topic, and this is Rayleigh's theorem. Rayleigh's theorem. So let me first understand about the statement of Rayleigh's theorem with the help of graph, okay. Once you understand it graphically, then you can understand also in the language of mathematics. This is not very difficult, but you have to understand first it's graphically, and from the graphical understanding I will switch to some English language, okay, and it is not a difficult thing. So let me take always I am discussing about here a single variable function. So always I have to take a single variable function, that is y is equal to f of x. And now let me define this y equal to f of x in a certain interval, okay. So let me suppose that this y is equal to f of x in an interval, that is x belongs to a comma b. This is obviously a closed interval, okay. So in this closed interval there is a function f of x, any function f of x, okay. So let me plot a function, any function f of x, okay, in a graph, that is this is like y is equal to f of x. So in this side I like to plot f of x, and in this side I like to plot x. Now at these two extreme points, that is at a and b, two end points you can say, where the graph starts and where the graph ends. So between these 2 points we are interested about the function f of x. So let me take this as x is equal to a and this as x is equal to b. So we are interested about between these 2 points, okay. So let me plot the function. Anyhow we can plot the function. It can go like this, it can go like this, but one thing we have to keep in mind when we are going to analyze the Rayleigh's theorem, that is the function should have equal value at x is equal to a and x is equal to b. So we are going to impose the first condition of Rayleigh's theorem, that is the function should have equal value at x is equal to a and x is equal to b. So f of a is equal to f of b, it must satisfy. So we have to consider 2 points, one is here and another is here. So the coordinate of this point should be a comma f of a, and the coordinate of this point should be b comma f of b. Are you understanding? So this is a very simple thing. This will be the 2 coordinates, the end point, and the function will start from here and will land to this point. Now the interesting thing is that the function can go like anyhow. We can show the function in this way, we can show the function in this way, or we can show the function in this way, we can show the function in this way, or you can show the function straight from this point A to point B. So the function can go like this. But again, to draw the function or to check the function that it is under the condition of Rayleigh's theorem or not, we have to impose the second 2 conditions. And if we talk, this is a first condition, then the 2 second condition 2 and 3 are very, very important, okay. One thing is that the function should be continuous within this interval, and you can see I have drawn the figure, all the line that I have drawn, I have plotted the function, all the cases the function is continuous, there is no discontinuity, you can see. So the function should be continuous between the interval a comma b. Okay, so the function should have continuous between this you can say this closed interval. So the function should be, so f of x should be continuous in the interval closed interval a comma b. Okay, so the function should be continuous, and the next very third point should be that the function should be differentiable at each and every point between this interval. Okay, so between the open interval, so the function f of x should be differentiable. I will tell you why this I am writing differentiable. F of x should be differentiable within the interval within x belongs to a comma b, and this should be open interval and this is called closed interval. Now these are the actually statement of, this is a condition of Rolle's theorem. So what Rolle said, that if there is a function f of x and the function is continuous and the function is differentiable within this interval a comma b, and in that case there at least a point within this interval such that the differentiation of the function at that point should be 0. What it means? It means that there should be any point throughout the curve, throughout the function, that there is a tangent which is parallel to x-axis. This is very important. There is a tangent which is parallel to x-axis. So if the function have same value at a and b, that is f of a is equal to f of b, and the function is continuous within the interval a comma b, that is the closed interval, and you can see easily the function is continuous, and the function also should have differentiability within this open interval a comma b, then within these functions, if you want to talk about graphically, then there should be at least one tangent which is parallel to x-axis between these two intervals, and you can see from all these curves there is a tangent, and for the straight curve all the points have a tangent, same tangent, and all the points, if you draw the tangent at each and every point, so all tangents will be parallel to x-axis. And what this tangent means? Tangents means the differentiation. So the tangent of a function at any particular point means the differentiation of this function at this particular point. So if there is a tangent parallel to x-axis, that means nothing but at that point, if we take this point and C, okay, which is must lies between this a and b, and in that case f dash c should be 0. Okay, so if these three conditions are satisfied for a particular function f of x within this interval a comma b, then according to Rolle's theorem there must be at least one point between this a and b such that f prime c is equal to 0. Okay, and graphically you can say that there should be at least one tangent on the curve which is parallel to x-axis. Okay, so this is the actual statement of Rolle's theorem. But the two questions, that why the function is continuous, why we need that the function is continuous between this interval, and why we need that the function is differentiable within this interval also. Okay, so let me check that why these two conditions are necessary for Rolle's theorem. This is very interesting questions and is important also for problem solving purpose. Sometimes you can directly solve the problem by seeing the graph. Okay, and why I want to tell this, you can understand when you solve problems. Okay, so let me check that why we need a continuous function within this interval and as well as a differentiable function within this interval. So to understand this, let me take a function which is not continuous within this interval. Okay, so this is the point a comma f of a, and this is the point, you can say these are parallel to x-axis. Of course these 2 points are at the same height from the x-axis, so it will be b comma fb, f of b. So these 2 points. Now let me choose a function which is not continuous like this. Let me choose the function like this. So the function is not continuous. Here is the function is discontinuous. And if there is a discontinuity, you cannot find like this, you cannot find any tangent which is parallel to x-axis. You cannot find it is, you can actually I want to say that suppose you can draw the function like this. If you say you can draw the function like this, you can draw the function like this, and this is your A point and this is your B point, and you can say that yes, I can draw the tangent here, I can draw the tangent parallel to x-axis here. So why the Rolle's theorem is not applicable for this discontinuity function? But the story is different. Here Rolle's theorem, what Rolle's theorem want to say, that you should have at least one tangent between this point A and B. You have to concentrate the language, that you should have at least one tangent. That means how many ways, in different ways you can draw the functions, in different ways you can draw any function, you can choose various kinds of functions, but you should not have any choice such that there is no tangent. So sometimes you can draw the function in such a way that there is some tangent. It may happen, but there is a possibility that I can draw a function in such a way that there is no tangent. So at least means there should not any choice of yours that you can draw the function in such a way that there is no tangent between these intervals. So I can draw the function here in this way. If I draw this function in this way, then you can easily say that there is no tangent. But you cannot draw the function in such a way. If you draw a continuous function, okay, if we make this function continuous, then you should have a point where the function is parallel to x-axis. So at least one point you should have if the function is continuous. But if the function is not continuous, then I can choose a function in such a way that there is no tangent which is parallel to x-axis. Okay, so this is actually the story. So, and that's why the continuity is most important. That you should have at least one tangent, or you should have at least one point for which f dash is equal to 0. And similar case for the differentiability also. So if I can draw a function such that this is not differentiable, this can be drawn in this way also. If I draw this function in this way, okay, in this way, then you can see at this point, let us suppose this point is D. So at this point the function is not differentiable. You see, there is two tangent at this point, and the slope of this tangent are different. One tangent is in this direction and tangent in this direction. So the left hand derivative and the right hand derivative are not same here. So the function is not differentiable at this point D. Okay, so if the function is not differentiable at this point D, so you should not have you can't apply the Rolle's theorem. Okay, so you have a continuous function between this interval, as well as you have a differentiable function within this interval, like a comma b. Okay, a comma b. Okay, so you can see here that I can choose this function also. This is continuous function, but it is not differentiable at this point. And here also you should not have any point such that f prime c is equal to 0, that is a tangent which is parallel to x-axis. So maybe you can draw this function in this way also, and you can see that this is a tangent which is parallel to x-axis. You can again choose this function, but I have a choice such that we need not actually a tangent which is parallel to x-axis. So this is the actual story about the Rolle's theorem, and this is the beautiful thing, that you can draw the function in such a way that there is a different tangent which is parallel to x-axis. But if you have at least one choice, that you can draw the function such that there is no tangent parallel to x-axis. But it cannot be happened if the function is continuous and the function is differentiable at each and every point between this interval. If the function is differentiable within this interval and the function is continuous within this interval, then you cannot draw a function in such a way that there is no tangent which is parallel to x-axis. So this is the main story about the Rolle's theorem, and that's why the function should be continuous and differentiable within this interval. Okay, so now let me choose some function, okay, which we will encounter in problems. So let me choose, instead of this graphical things, let me choose some real valued function. Okay, so let me choose a very well-known function that will describe better the thing. Okay, and I like to choose the function f of x is equal to mod x, and that is x when 0 less than is equal to when x is greater than equal to 0. Okay, that means 0 less than equal to x less than equal to 1, and is equal to minus x when minus 1 less than equals to x less than equal to 0. Okay, so this is f of x is equal to mod x, and if you draw the function, you can easily say that the Rolle's theorem is not applicable between this interval 0 and 1, between the interval minus 1 and 1. Okay, minus 1 and 1. Okay, if you draw the function, you can easily say. Okay, so this is the function, you know, f of x versus x. This is f of x is equal to mod x, and it may have same value at minus 1 and plus 1, but you see here the function is not differentiable at this point, though the function is continuous. The function is continuous, but the function is not differentiable at this point at x is equal to 0. At x is equal to 0, the function is not differentiable. So the Rolle's theorem cannot be applicable between this interval minus 1, plus 1. Okay, though the function is, and you can easily see from the graph that there is no tangent which is along the x-axis or which is parallel to x-axis. There is no tangent. So there should not be any point between minus 1 and plus 1 that satisfy f dash c is equal to 0. So the Rolle's theorem is not applicable here. Similarly, we can understand by a function f of x is equal to tan x. You can say between the interval 0, y. Okay, if you draw the graph, then again you can see. Okay, so this is 0, this is pi by 2, and this is pi. So in 0 to pi, the function will be like this, and you can see that at pi by 2, okay, at pi by 2 you can see the function is discontinuity. The function is discontinuous between the interval 0, y. At the point pi by 2, the function is discontinuous. So there is no condition of applying Rolle's theorem. Okay, so we cannot apply Rolle's theorem in this case. To apply Rolle's theorem, the function must be continuous, differentiable within the interval, and as well as the function should have the same value between these endpoints. Okay, now let me solve some typical example that your understanding will be better for your exam purpose. Okay, at the end of the day, in the exam, we have to solve problems, and you can solve the problems only when your concept is clear. Okay, so problems will automatically solve if your concept is clear. So here a very simple example I like to give you, that f of x is equal to here f of x is equal to x square minus 3x plus 4, x square minus 3x plus 4, and verify Rolle's theorem, Rolle's theorem between the interval 1, 2. Between the interval 1, 2. Okay, let me first check if the function is equal or not between this two interval. And of course, this is a polynomial function. Okay, this is polynomial function. This is polynomial, so it should be continuous. It should be continuous as well as differentiable. If there is a polynomial function, then you can directly say that it is differentiable and continuous. So we have to check f of 1. Okay, f of 1 is what? 1 minus 3 plus 4, that is equal to 4 plus 5 minus 2, and f of 2 is equal to 4 minus 6 plus 4, that is 8 minus 6, 2. So f of 1 is equal to f of 2. So f of 1 is equal to f of 2. So the Rolle's theorem is applicable for this function x square minus 3x plus 4, and there should be at least one point. You can see if prime x is equal to 0, if you take f prime x is equal to 0, then it will be 2x minus 3 is equal to 0. So x will be 3 by 2, which is obviously between 1, 2, because this is 1.5. So the Rolle's theorem for this function is applicable. Okay, now let me solve another interesting problem. Okay, and these kinds of problems are asked in your exam actually. Okay, so let me solve the question. So the next question. Okay, so what is the question? The question is, you are given that if 2a plus 3b plus 6 is equal to 0, given that 2a plus 3b plus 6c, 3b plus 6c is equal to 0, then show that the equation ax square plus bx plus c, the equation ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0 has at least one real root, has at least one real root, at least one real root between 0 comma 1, between 0 to 1, between 0 to 1 in this interval. You need to check that there is at least one real root between 0 to 1. So what we have actually learned from the Rolle's theorem, and for this problem that is very important, you have to apply actually conceptually the Rolle's theorem. That in Rolle's theorem, what I am saying always, that between these 2 points, if I have a function, then there at least one point such that f dash c is equal to 0. What it means? It means that between these 2 points, the derivative at a particular point, the derivative of the function is 0, and that means there is a real root between these 2 points a and b. So if f dash c is equal to 0 and there is a real root between a and b, then we can say the Rolle's theorem is applicable for this function. Now I have to check that is this function has a real root. Let me see. If this is the function f of x, then tangent of this is f prime x. This is very interesting. You can see, if I have a function f of x, then what is tangent? In tangent f prime x, and its tangents have value between this interval 0, f dash is equal to 0. So from there we can get a value of x such that the Rolle's theorem is applicable. Are you understanding? If I have a function f of x and the differentiation of this function should be 0 between this interval at least at one point. Okay. Now what I have to check? I have to check x square plus bx plus c is equal to 0 has at least one root. So which has at least one root, not f of x, but f prime x should have at least one root. So I have a function f of x. Okay, I have given this function, the ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0 has at least one root. That means indirectly I have given f dash x, not fx is equal to, because f dash x has actually a real root between this interval. So indirectly I have given, okay, they are given that ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0. That means I have given f prime is x. So what will be the fx? So fx will be the integral of this. So fx must be ax cube by 3 plus bx square by 2 plus cx. This should be fx. So you have to find fx first, and if this fx satisfies the condition of Rolle's theorem, then obviously its derivative, that is f dash x, should have a real root between these 2 points. This is the interesting thing about this. So now let me check. If I check that this function is applicable for Rolle's theorem, this function is applicable between this interval 0, 1, then my work is done. Because then obviously this function, this equation x square plus bx plus c is equal to 0 have at least one root between these 2 points. So it's very simple. We have to check only the integral of the function, that it satisfies Rolle's theorem or not. And you can see again, this is a polynomial function, so it should be differentiable. It should be differentiable as well as it would be continuous, and you can say f of 0 and f of 0 and f of 1 is the same value. Let me check. f of 0 is equal to 0. This is obvious. But what about f of 1? If we check f of 1, then it will be a by 3 plus b by 2 plus c. Okay, so if we simplify it, it will be 2a plus 3b plus 6. Yes, it is given. 2a plus 3b plus 6 is equal to 0. So it will be 0 by 6. So it will be 0. So f of 1 is equal to f of 0 is equal to 0. So this function must be satisfy Rolle's theorem between 0, 1. That means its derivative x square plus bx plus c. The derivative of this function x square plus bx plus c should have one real root, at least one real root between these 2 points a and b, and here a and b is nothing but 0, 1. Okay, so this is all about Rolle's theorem, and you should have practiced more problem on this thing, then you will be very confident to solve problems in your exam. Okay, thank you.